Hi everybody, I'm next weather meteorologist Terry Eliasen with a very important update on your, I'm sure, very busy weekend. We have a nor'easter on the way and we've got some tweaks to the forecast today that I think in large part you may actually enjoy. So let's get right to it. We have that coastal storm set to impact us later on Sunday through Tuesday. Again, periods of heavy rain, gusty winds, minor coastal flooding, all the things that typically come along with a nor'easter. It is starting to get to storm season here, so after weeks and months of sunny, sort of very pleasant days, we've got finally some stormy weather on the way. But we are high and dry for now. High pressure protecting us for the beginning of the weekend anyways. But if we look to the south, there we go, sitting just south of Miami is that little low pressure area. And that is going to blossom into a coastal storm, which is going to affect the entire East Coast over the upcoming holiday weekend. So let's start with the good news. The pick of the weekend is tomorrow, Saturday. By far the best day of the weekend from mountaintop to seashore. I think we're going to have sunshine, just a little bit of high cloudiness moving in parts of, say, the South Coast and the Cape later in the day, but really hard to find a bad spot tomorrow. It's 68 to maybe even a few spots hitting 70 degrees. So if you're leaf peeping, if you're hiking, if you're pumpkin or apple picking, it's all a go for tomorrow. Enjoy the great weather. Saturday is by far the pick. Here are the forecasted highs. You see mostly upper 60s. Again, I wouldn't be shocked to hit a 70 here or there, just a tad bit cooler with some of those high clouds down over the South Coast and the Cape. On to Sunday. Sunday is, I guess we call it a transition day. So Saturday being the best day, Monday sort of being the worst day of the holiday weekend. Sunday is going to be kind of in the middle. We'll be transitioning. The storm will be approaching. Temperatures cooler, about 5 to 10 degrees cooler for highs than they were on Saturday. Still not terrible with highs near 60. And of course, here's the all-important one. When does the rain start on Sunday? Well, I think if you're on the South Coast, basically from Providence to Plymouth southward, say the Cape, the islands, the rain is going to come probably in the afternoon. It's going to arrive from south to north. So the farther south you are, the better chance of some rain by Sunday afternoon. North of there, say Boston to Worcester along the Mass Pike and areas northward, I think we're going to stay dry all day on Sunday. I think it'll take until probably sunset or after before some showers sneak into the Boston area. And if you're up north, if you're leaf peeping or hiking through the whites or the greens up in Maine, it's going to stay dry all day. Now, the clouds will thicken as the day goes on, especially the high clouds. But overall, I would not change plans on Sunday if you're heading up north. I do think it's going to stay dry. I would still say Saturday's the better day, but Sunday's still not terrible north of the border. So let's track that coastal storm. You can see this is Saturday afternoon. It's sitting just east of Florida down there, bringing heavy rains, strong winds to parts of the Carolinas. By Sunday afternoon, we sort of get the one low splitting off from the main parent low, and it's sitting just to the south of New England. Rain entering southeastern parts of Massachusetts late in the day on Sunday, but you can see this is Monday morning. Pretty much all of southern New England is now raining and the winds are picking up. Monday looks like one of those kind of washout days. It definitely looks like a all day, off and on sort of periods of heavy rain, gusty winds along the coastline, your typical sort of October nor'easter kind of feel on Monday. And you'll see the low doesn't really move much. So as we get into Tuesday, it's still sitting south of us, but it is weakening. It's eroding. So I think on Tuesday, the rain amounts will be lower. It'll still be a gray, sort of drizzly, off and on showery day. But the rain amounts will be lessening, the intensity will be lessening, and the wind gusts will also be lowering as the day goes on. So Tuesday, we're kind of working our way out of the storm, and certainly by Wednesday, we should be fully recovered. So rainfall totals throughout the entire weekend. This is just one model. I would say that 1 to 3 inches parts of the eastern Massachusetts coastline and southeastern Massachusetts is fairly expected and certain. I wouldn't be shocked if there were isolated pockets up to 4 or 5 inches somewhere in that area. Farther north and west you go, away from that storm center, the rainfall totals will be less. So we're looking at a ½ inch to an inch, say, in parts of like northern Worcester County, southern New Hampshire, and certainly up north there'd be very little rain, if any, up in the mountains, the White Mountains. Wind gusts, they start to pick up on Sunday a little bit. I'm not sure you'll notice it unless you're on the Cape and the Islands during the day on Sunday. By Sunday evening, we're gusting, say, 25 to 35 over southeastern Massachusetts. Not really too bad yet, but it's really overnight Sunday night into Monday when we start really feel that northeast wind picking up. we're looking at 35 to 45 miles an hour over most of the east coast of Massachusetts. Could be 40 to 50 miles an hour over the Cape and parts of the island on Monday. So definitely a raw, windswept rain going on during the day on Monday. Monday is the peak of the storm for the rain and the wind. And you'll see on Tuesday, the winds start to diminish. Basically by the end of the day, it's really just some gusts left on the outer Cape and the islands. The rest of the area will start to notice that change and a recovery as we head into Wednesday. Putting it on a timeline, this is Boston, so you can see basically a steady sort of, these are peak gusts, 30 to 40 miles an hour for most of the day, Monday into early Tuesday. You'll see the Cape a little bit higher, averaging more upper 30s into the 40s for gusts Monday into Tuesday. So obviously the farther south you go, the farther south and east you go, the higher the wind gusts. But still, for nor'easters, we've gotten much worse than this. It definitely will be gusty, certainly worst over the Cape and the islands. There could be some isolated wind or tree damage, isolated power outages, but I do not expect any widespread issues as that stuff goes. So again, we've had much worse and we'll get much worse, but still nonetheless making for a rather miserable finish to the holiday weekend. Coastal flood watch is up. National Weather Service has posted a coastal flood watch for Sunday and Monday. This is for the entire east and southern coasts. They're expecting about a half foot of inundation on any of those vulnerable shore roads, some minor splash over, certainly some beach erosion. But again, this is relatively minor. Thankfully, the storm is hitting after our king tide cycle. So over the last couple of days, we've had very high astronomical tides. You'll see that they're coming down day by day now. So if you add a half foot onto any one of these forecasted astronomical tides, you still don't get to the flood zone, the flood portion of this. So I do think that the best chance of some coastal flooding would be Sunday afternoon between, say, 3 and 5 p.m. and again on Monday afternoon between about 4 and 6 p.m. But again, I think it's going to be minor, some splash over, a little bit of shore road, vulnerability, but overall not terrible. And you can see the tides do keep lowering as we go into next week. Finally, it's going to be an angry sea early next week. Waves just offshore, 5 to 10 feet. This is something we normally see if they say a hurricane passes off our shore. So pretty rough, pretty angry sea. I don't expect a lot of you will be at the beach, of course, but if you do have boating interests, nonetheless, it will be an angry sea Monday into Tuesday, only sort of just diminishing mid to late week next week. So we do have that weather alert again starting really late Sunday night. I think, again, Monday is your day for the washout for the strongest winds. Tuesday, a slow recovery, but still a very sort of dank, dismal, dreary day. And then some recovery on Wednesday before perhaps a few more showers on Thursday. So I feel like our lovely fall weather pattern is taking a right-hand turn here. We've had a lot of good fortune, and unfortunately, I think it's time to pay the piper, as we always seem to have to do here in New England. So we'll keep you updated every step of the way. Eric Fisher is coming on tonight with an important update on that Sunday rain timeline, and we'll have our whole team here all weekend long through Monday with updates as we go along. So stay safe and enjoy your holiday weekend.